Guys, Amy here with Sublimation More and Hellbound Designs, and I know we're going live for you guys tonight. A lot of this footage was pre-recorded so that I can make this process move along a lot quicker, shall I say. The purpose of tonight's video is we've got the flags in. I'm so very excited about these. Here is the, if you can see, I hope. Here is the double-sided flag. Guys, this stuff is really thick. It looks like a really good quality, and it's going to hopefully withstand a lot of different weather conditions. The sizes of the flags are, they are long ways. They are about 19.5 inches. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. And horizontal, they're approximately 14 inches. Now I know you guys are worried about your press sizes. We're going to go over that. That's why I did pre-recording footage for you guys, because I'm doing different methods on these. So I'm going to show you how to print bigger by breaking up your images and using Photoshop. If you use Corel or any other software, you guys will have to kind of figure that out. Hopefully you there will be some great discussion on it in the main group. But so the single-sided is a lot thinner, but it's still a good material. I personally like the double-sided better. Oh, and the single-sided is a lot smaller, so holy cow, my design may not work on that because I didn't even catch that. Okay, so my single-sided flag is a lot smaller, and it is, let's see, it is a 12 by approximately 16.5. So that might be a good option for some of you guys. I'm thinking a 13 by 18 would be a good size, but anyways, we'll start with this one first. I'm going to do a, actually we're going to start with the smaller one first. I'm going to do a method of combination of sublimation and foil. Now my design I printed, I could have done this in one sheet, so I'm going to have to do that now because the design is way too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually save this for a later date. Put it in my drawer. Okay, so for the two-sided, I'm going to show you how to cut the images up. So the largest print I can do on my Epson Workforce 7110 is a 13 by 19. So I'm going to show you on the computer how I did this. This is the top of this design, and this is the bottom. All right, and I printed it like this so I can scrap around, because I can use this for phone cases or dog tags or whatever. So I'm going to show you how I did that, and then I also am going to show you guys how I cut out the center, which is for foil. I'll give you right here is where you see how it's cut out. It's going to be foil in there. So using the Sizer Easy Weed on that. Also, these are the poles. They come broke down just like this. They're really nice. They're solid black, and they look like they're going to be easy to put together. So I can't wait to hang up my flag in my yard. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so here I'm at my computer, and I've already finished my design, as you guys can see. So what I need to do is I need to print this out and splitting it onto two different sheets, because I obviously can't print this large, which is approximately I think what do we say, 14 by 19.5. So here's my completed design. The white is actually going to be in foil, so I'll turn that off. And what I'm actually going to do is just go ahead and merge visible just for this purpose of printing. Next, I'm going to come up here to view, and I'm going to do new guide, and I want it to be 50%. Okay, oops, not 5%, 50% horizontal. All right, so there's my guide breaking it up for me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new sheet. So I'm going to say new, and I want it to be exactly what I can print up to, which is 19 by 13, and I do want to print it landscape. Okay, 300 RGB, 300 resolution and RGB. And here is my new print. So now over here, I'm going to go back to my burlap, and I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to drag from the very top of the sheet to the center, and it should catch right there on your guide. All right, and then I'm going to say Control C. That's for Windows, and I'm going to go Control V and paste it. So I'm going to put it all the way to the corner here so that I don't waste paper, and to the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom half. Just going to go right to that guide, dragging it all the way down to the bottom, Control C, and then Control V. Okay, now I've got 2 layers here that I'm ready to print. When you're printing each layer, obviously you want to turn off the other layer. And so now you got to make sure your paper settings are correct. So I would go File, Place, File, Print, and I'm going to change it to landscaped. All right, and if I moved it around, I want to make sure it's centered, the center options checked, so that it prints exactly how I set it up to. I'm using Cobra ink, so my Cobra profile will set, and it'll also print in mirror view because I have that set up as my default in my printer settings. And then basically all I would do is at this point is I'd go ahead and print and send it to the printer, and I would do that for the top and the bottom sheet. Okay. Now for the center, you're probably wondering, well, how do you get that white part in there, Amy? So that's pretty simple. Let me see. So I need to step backwards and step backwards, step backwards. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to pull this over into my cutting software, and I use One PC Sign. I only need the H in this, so I'm going to take everything else off and turn it all off. And this, I think I'm actually going to just change it to a different color just to be safe. I'm going to change it to black as well. All right. We showed you in another video a while back, just go to our YouTube channel on how we do the kind of the knockout effect like this in Photoshop. Now what I'm going to do is File, Save As, and I'm just going to save this as text for foil. Okay. And you can save it as a PSD. Well, for my program, I can pull in as PSD. If you use Cricut or Silhouette, I mean, I don't know how those programs work, so you would probably know best. Here's one I'm already getting ready to send to the cutter, and I'll do that next. But I'm going to say print. Actually, I'm going to say import, and I'm going to import that image that I just did. All right, there we go. And I'm going to vectorize it, okay? WinPC makes it easy to vectorize. You can also do this in Corel. Because I cut straight from this program, it's just easier for me. Now I'm going to get rid of the original and go over here and just get rid of everything else that I don't need. That's including all this. All we need is just the text. Oops. Okay. And what I'm looking at now is in wireframe. For those of you that don't know, you know, your cutters must cut by lines. So it's a vectorized program. And then at this point, I would just rotate. And I would send to the cutter by going to cut. I would mirror the image so that it cuts. You have to, when you're cutting, heat transfer vinyl, you have to mirror your work so that when you press it on, it presses correctly. So, and at this point, I would go ahead and send it. I already did this cut earlier, which you'll see on video, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. Oops. Okay, so I'm getting ready to cut this. I use the Sizer Easy Weed adhesive for the foil process. It is the two-step foil process. If you don't know how to do that, I've done another video where I did Stan Reisler's pillows, his burlap sublimation pillows, and I did the two-step foil process in addition to sublimation. So here's what the sheet looks like. You want to make sure you cut on the side of the actual adhesive and not on the transfer side. The transfer side is always going to feel slick, okay? So this is my cheapo cutter, so we're just going to load the stuff right into it. And if you don't know how to use one of these cutters, I'm not going to go into detail on that. Lots of videos you'll have to watch. But all cutters, big cutters like this is a 24-inch, are pretty much going to work similar as far as putting your media in there. So, and you just hit this, hit the lock so that it holds the paper in there. I haven't noted that I need pressure of 450 degrees. I mean 450 degrees. Oh my gosh. My pressure of downforce for cutting is 150, so I'm just going to add. Oops. I had that way too high. All right, and now it's all set, so now I'm going to send it to the actual cutter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit cut, mirror, make sure to. And I'm just going to send, and I'll hit start, and it should send it to the cutter. All right, so we're going to go over there and check out it cutting. Okay, so as you can see, it's cutting here. I'll try to zoom in for you guys. It's a noisy old cutter, but it works perfectly fine for me. And then I'll show you how I weed this. So again, I hope you guys are enjoying tonight's surprise webcast of me showing you how to make these garden flags that I just got my samples in, and we'll be listing them as a group buy. And you can change the different speeds on your cutter. And I do recommend the Sizer Easy Weed. It's really, really easy to weed, you guys. I did get some other stuff from the show in New Jersey, and it's called this stuff. I'm not even sure where I got it at, so I haven't tried it yet, but I plan on it. So it's a different kind of adhesive. So I'm hoping it works too, and hopefully I'll figure out who I bought it from. Alright, so it should be almost wrapped up here with this part of the video. Okay, now I know I'm not sure if you guys can see the cuts, probably not. On video it's kind of hard to see. So I'm just going to start by weeding it from the corner over here. And if it was a good clean cut, it should just pull right up. All right, so I'm gonna do a trim real quick so I don't waste this. No, actually, I'm not gonna worry about it. For the purpose of the video, I'm just gonna weed this stuff for you guys. And hope that it weeds good. If you have a good cut, it should pull off fairly easily. That's what I love about the Sizer Easy Weed brands, even for their vinyl. And you need a good weeding tool. I got this one from Coastal. Okay, so I'm going to do the single-sided flag first. 400 degrees for 60 seconds, and I'm kind of taking a crapshoot at this because they did not give me any instructions, and I was so excited I just wanted to press. So the first thing you do is you lint roll, and then I'm going to do a pre-press, and I'm going to pre-press on the side that's supposedly not sublimatable. All right, kind of flatten it out. Next thing I'm going to do, and I hope I have enough, is I'm going to spray a little spritz, as Stan likes to say on my design. And I'm just going to try to line it up as best as I can here. Okay, this is a smaller flag, so you shouldn't have any issues with this as far as print size, and if you can print up to a 13 by 19, and as far as your heat press goes. But we'll show you a little trick on how to press them if you can't. The heat press is smaller. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do it medium pressure for 60 seconds at 400 degrees. All right, so here's a moment of truth. I'm gonna just move my camera back for y'all. Gently lift up. Now what I would do in this situation, because I don't know how it came out, I'm gonna hold my finger in the center of this while I lift up. Okay. Nice. It came out nice. Okay. All right, so there is the flag, and it came out beautiful. Colors are very vibrant, and this flag does have a, I printed it to have kind of a, like a watercolor washed effect, and it still came out good. Now, I'm not going to press the foil on yet because my heat press is set to 400. So if you're doing these, you need to press all your sub designs first and then turn your temperature down for your foil and your adhesive. So let's move on to the big flag now. Okay, so for those of you that don't have a press accommodating, the trick to this is getting a piece of board. Okay, now my press will accommodate, but to show you guys, I got a 24 by 24 for $4 MDF board at Home Depot. It's huge. I don't know if y'all can see. Okay, it's big. So this would be, and I'm gonna have my husband probably, you know, trim this down a little bit, but I mean, for $4, it should be pretty heat resistant according to from what Home Depot said. And it's a 1/4 inch thick. So this is how you guys can press larger things, no matter what it is, cutting boards or whatever. Okay, so now onto the double-sided flag. I'm going to go ahead and trim down my paper. Hopefully you guys can see. And for the record, this will be my first time doing something like this tonight for you guys here on this live video, cutting it down like this. I didn't test this process prior to doing this. Just Stan and I collaborated today on how we could accomplish this as far as size goes, being limited to how the size we can press and the size that we can print. So thank you, Stan, for helping me on that. My brain wasn't functioning, and he helped me figure out this part as far as printing it goes. Okay, so remember, save all your scraps. Don't throw them away. Use them for other stuff, smaller items. Next, we need the flag. The flag. Here we go. So double-sided, so we're going to have to do this twice, guys. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what I'm doing here. And I don't think my flag printed. It's a little bigger on the bottom. Okay, so what happened is their consistency of how they cut this, I'm going to have to get onto them for it, is a little off. So I'm just going to line this up as best as I can. And that's obviously the bottom. You want to make sure you're putting the, well, that's the top and that's the bottom. Okay. Okay. I could have probably made it a little wider. So what I'm going to do is big flag may not come out like I really wanted it to, which will be a shame because I was really, really wanting to do this design. Okay. Now this should be cut pretty close all the way across. So it doesn't move. I'm going to take tape and just tape it together. Okay. And we have a piece over here that is not going to get pressed, and that's because probably a fault of the design of the flag. So we'll work on that with the supplier. In the meantime, I have some extra print that I could probably just, that I tested earlier, that I can just cut out and probably put it there. So I'm just going to put it like that. Remember, this is for demonstration purposes. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just tape that together. And then up there at the top as well. Hopefully it won't look silly. My ideas don't always work out, guys, but the fun part is you get to watch me experiment a lot on these live shows like this. Come on. Don't do me that way. Just gonna put that there like that. All right, so let's hope that this works out. And we're gonna get a piece of protective paper. Okay, so the trick of the board is, if you have to do these in sections, all right, this is so you don't touch. This is so that you don't move this at all right? So what I would do is I would press the top half then the bottom half by simply just moving the board. So see, if your design was bigger, you've now got it on your whole entire board, and what you do is you want to press in sections probably sideways like this. So I'm going to show you. I hope with the paper you guys can fully understand what I'm doing. So I would want to press my design on this half of the board. Okay. And I'll let it go for 60 seconds. And remember, when you add a piece of wood like this, you got to adjust the pressure, okay? So we're going to let this run for 60 seconds. And remember, I have this section of the flag that I still have to press, so I'll do it, which is right here. Okay, as you can see, which I'll push the board and shift it over and do it for 60 seconds. Never, ever actually touching the flag. All right, so the time is up. I'm gonna mark right here with a Sharpie so that I know where I have to start my press at. Oops. So I moved the paper, that probably didn't help. So what I'm gonna do is just move the board like this, and you can move it around. See, I don't have as much width on that side of it, or I would have just moved it all the way over. So that you know that this works, I'm gonna go up to that second half right there. press it down for another full 60 seconds. This side is already done, as you can see. We can even peek at it if you want. Ooh, and I need more pressure right there. So we have to adjust that. I'm gonna get some more pressure. So that's the good news, is I was able to peek to see if how this pressed without actually moving it up. And as you can see, I don't know, let me move it down right there. As you can see, and maybe it's because of the lip right there, it didn't press good. So we'll go back over that. What I'll do is shove the board all the way in and do it again. So this is how you can press things, is by utilizing a board that's bigger than your bottom plat. And you want it to be, you know, pretty good size all the way around so that it doesn't tip over or anything on you while you're moving things around. Now what I'm going to do is, because I want to go ahead and come to right about there, I'm just going to press it again. Woo, and you can see that heat going. All right, so I'm going to stop it with about 25 seconds shy, just to see how it came out. Bring my board out. And because I have it taped to that side, I can lift it. And we are definitely seeing a pressure issue right there. And I think it's because of the lip of the flag, but I'm not quite sure. Could be this board. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it lots of hard pressure. Okay, so first side done. I feel like I have some pressure issues. And as you can see over here, it didn't go all the way to the edge, which I'll try to fix that myself. So we're just going to, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to not use the board, because I showed you that little trick. And trust me, before I got this big press, I had a 15 by 15. I use the board trick all the time for cutting boards, okay? So now we're gonna do the other side. Okay, so on the other side, we need to cut and trim around. Do that now. So to account for the size of the flag being off, I should have made my template just a tad bit bigger, which I'll adjust that and upload it to the file section. I should have had a little more bleed, so that was probably faulty on my part. It doesn't help that I'm also in a hurry for the video and I just chopped off part of the flag. Oh. All right, so same process. Don't forget to keep your scraps. So this is the bottom and this is the top. Line the top up. We might need to do a pre-press and lint it, so let me do that now. flag is wrinkly, so this may not come out as good as I want it to. So I'm lining this up as best as I can, and as you can see, I'm a little off again on this side. So I'm just gonna cut a big old piece and stick it right underneath here instead of cutting little pieces like I did last time. All right, so now I need a cover sheet. I'm gonna go really heavy pressure on this because of the fact of the seams, I think, is what may have caused the issue on this, not sure. All right, and we'll come back after it gets done cooking. Whoops. Didn't mean to. All right, let's wish me luck on this one. Looks like I got good even pressure. All right. You can't even tell that I added that extra piece into there. Oh, there's a little bit of a pressure break up here, and that's probably because of where the flag is wrinkled. This part, that's really good. All right, so now what we need to do is we're going to press the foil on it. So let's go ahead and get my heat press turned down, and we'll come back for that. Okay, so my heat press is winded down to the 300-degree temperature. We are going to do this side first, and I'm just going to line up my hail right in there. And I decided I was going to take a chance and do this in blue. So let's see. The first thing, according to their instructions, if I can get this without cutting myself. No, I don't know why they have to put so much darn label on it. Make it impossible to get off. There we go. Sorry guys, I know this is a long video, but there's so many different steps here to take. And because I'm having to record all my steps for you guys, it's actually a lot longer process than it really is if I were just coming along and doing this job. Okay, so I'm going to use this blue right here. I'm just going to cut off this excess here. So I did a video previously on foil, and it was my first time using the two-step. The first thing you do is, according to Caesar, you press this for you press this for 3 to 5 seconds. Just the adhesive is for 3 to 5 seconds, okay? So. All right, so that's just a real quick heat press. And it should be a hot peel as well. And there you go. Now, the purpose of the adhesive, in case you guys have never worked with foil before, is so that where'd my blue go? Is so that the foil will stick right to it. Okay, so just gonna cut me a piece of foil here, and I'm hoping this blue will stand out on this burlap looking background. Okay, now on the foil, you just lay it on top like that. It should stick right to the adhesive. I'm gonna go ahead and put my cover sheet on it, my Teflon, and then they say to go to 8 to 10 seconds. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go for the full 10 seconds. And I'm hoping you guys can still see this. All right. Sorry, I got interrupted. I had a call that came in. Okay, so it came out really nice. The edges always look a little rough, so you can just kind of rub that in, but whoo, does that sparkle. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Beautiful. I love the blue. So I'm going to do the other side same way. Going to put my adhesive right in for 3 seconds. Line it up. Three-second press. Okay, I went 4 seconds, so I cheated. Do another piece of foil. No. Oh, crap. Well, that's not what you want to do, is don't lay your foil on top of it while you're cutting it. But you get to see me be live and make mistakes. Okay. Now we're going to press the foil right on. And it should stick to it. Just smooth that baby out. Protective sheet. Going to go the full 10 seconds. And there you have it. Beautiful. All right, so next we're going to move on to the single flag. And I had planned on doing that one in a silver. So not sure if that'll work. There we go. So we're going to press this in foil. So the adhesive comes first, and as you can see, I didn't have a cutout on this one. I'm just going to press it directly in there. Go for 3 seconds. Oops, lost track of time. It happens. Pull it right up. This time I'm going to use this little white glittery silver foil that has stars on it, which I thought would be perfect for this. On scissors. Not sure if you guys can see it, but it's got little stars on it, so I thought this would be perfect for this. I'm just going to stick that on. Now remember, the foil will only stick to where the adhesive is. And I'm going to go the full 10 seconds on this. And on the foil that you don't use, you can actually cut it and trim it and salvage it and just put it away if you want to. But I think out in the sunlight that this will really, really stand out. I mean, it's a real pretty design. Okay, so I'm all finished and I really like how the designs came out. I'll have to take a picture of them out front, but this will be my 4th of July flag and I love how the color came out. This is the single-sided, all right. The double-sided I also like too. It's thicker. The trick is going to be where it's really thick around here. I think pressure is going to might be a little issue, but I mean, it's not too bad. I'm pretty impressed with it, and this is what it looked like. So I chose to make it look like a burlap. I actually subbed the whole entire design except for the foil across the top. So we're gonna start opening up this group buy. We're gonna have a discussion about the sizes and whether it's single-sided, double-sided. But I'll take pictures tomorrow out in the sunlight to show you how well it looks, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.